Hello, and happy full moon that's happening right now. Aries full moon. Very feisty. It's all about new beginnings. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Cardinal fire. So cardinal is that, you know, beginning energy, and fire is so feisty. It loves to start things. So yes, welcome. Let's get centered and cast a magical circle that includes each and every one of us that is watching now and in the future. Bringing yourself to right here and right now. And the past is gone and the future really doesn't matter. We're just here right now. In this place, wherever you are, center yourself. Connect in with Mother Earth, down, down, down through base of spine, down through feet, to Gaia, our mother. And connect up, 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 up to the great and epic Father Sky, the everything, the infinite. And remember that we're the conduit between above and below. And connect in with the energies of Lady Moon. So beautiful, wearing her gorgeous Aries dress, all feisty and sexy and passionate and willful. Connecting with that energy now. Just once this year we have this opportunity to connect in with the Aries full moon. So feel her now, whether you're in daytime sky time or nighttime, she's there. Connecting us all, no matter whether you're celebrating autumn equinox or spring equinox, that full moon is uniting all of us right across the planet. Now let's welcome in our elements. I'll use my wand because the wand is very Aries, fire, direction, will, focus. Oh, the room's changed around so it feels all different directions. East. Energies of the east, of air, of new beginnings, of awakenings, of birth and rebirth, of springtime, of song, of scent. Air, you're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. Energies of fire, energies of transformation and will, energies of focus and direction, energies of warmth, of hearth. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. Energies of the west, of water. Of quenching our thirst, of bringing life to the land, of ocean and river and rain, of the blood in our veins. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. And energies of the, oh, I can't really do north and south because we're bi-hemispherical. But anyway, energies of earth, which for me is the north. Energies of earth, of form and structure and centeredness, of crystal, of magic made manifest, earth of plenty and prosperity. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. And energies of spirit, the everything, the above, the below, the within, the without. Spirit who is me, Spirit who is you. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. By earth and air and fire and water, this circle is cast and outside of time. This circle is cast and outside of space. Blessed be. So, all right. I'm back home in Santa Fe after a crazy whirlwind trip to Australia to finish my Persephone album. So I've just been home a couple of days, and in those couple of days we transformed the whole house and got this new couch, which is pretty awesome. So that's why it doesn't look like it did. Anyway, work in progress. And also we have two friends joining us from Australia who are over here, so you'll see me sometimes directing my gaze to them. Hi. So all's well, and I'm going to start with this song, really old one, and wow, it took me, I had to go back and relearn this one. It's from my very first album, but I think it suits the Aries energy really well. It's called Chariot, and the Chariot, my first album was all, I used the major arcana of the tarot cards to as the impetus for most of the songs. So Chariot is obviously about the Chariot tarot card, and that's very much about directing your will and keeping your focus and moving forward. You know, it's got so much raw energy behind it. And I remember I wrote this song after walking to my local park, you know, 100 years ago, and seeing this amazing shooting star across the sky, and I thought, wow, it's just like this chariot. And in the Aries Full Moon Magic booklet that I put up for free this month, so you can download that and read about Aries, I talked a lot about that firing, that fiery arrow of will and direction. So that's kind of the energy of this song. Let's see how I go. He rode a chariot too fast to capture. I was pinned to the ground. I would have sunk deeper had not the earth's surface prevented my falling. It may have been calling, but a woman can't fly. Drive into the velvet night with your eyes aflame and your soul alive. Drive, kissing the crystal dome, leaving me all alone to taste the breathing sky. Stars and moon separate, why try to imitate? Sweet earthbound lovers, would I, lying here willingly, witness you filling me with sweeter heaven's sigh. Oh, la la la, oh, 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 la la go, la 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 la. He blew a trumpet of victory. I sang a soft song, a song that could mesmerize. Siren song softly, yet tempting a lover, and all under cover of waxing moon sky. Drive into the crying night where the air is cold and the cosmos bright. Drive too far away from me, just like a memory that skids across my eyes. Eternal energy, will horses carry me closer to your skies? Two creatures leading you, it's not a simple thing to do, to balance black and white. La 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 la, oh la, la, la 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 la, oh la, oh la, oh. You may applaud if you wish. I know, it would just be kind of like la 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 la. We've had a couple of concerts where, we did the one in New York, which was the Capricorn full moon. My friend Paul was the one person in the audience for that. That was fun. And then the that gorgeous full moon that we did the concert in Athens. We had a good audience for that one. So it's always nice to have people right here and now, and also people out there in the great everywhere. Also, I only made one mistake in that song, so I'm going to give myself 17 gold stars because I've got like a lot of jet lagness. So I've got a great big bubble of disclaimer around every mistake that I make. So in that song I was mentioning it's not a simple thing to do to balance black and white. And I was referencing the tarot card that has, and the chariot driver is has a white horse and a black horse. And in a way, you know, this is like I've got a yin-yang symbol here on the altar. This balance of releasing and accepting and being receptive, the feminine yin energy, and that go, go, go yang energy. Aries is a very, very yang energy. So because of that, it's even more important to acknowledge and be aware that it needs to be balanced by the yin energy. That's why Mars and Venus are lovers, why Aries and Aphrodite, you know, connect, because it's the epic yang meets the epic yin. It's beautiful. And of course, this is the time of the equinox, the last equinox. The sun was in Aries and the moon was in Libra, and this is the reverse. The sun is in Libra and the moon is in Aries, so that's always going to be that beautiful equinox dance. I love it. I love this time of year. Okay, so the next song that I'm choosing to do, I really did only get like 3 hours sleep last night because of this ridiculous jet lagness, and also because we chose to throw a party for our friends. So it's my own fault. But this song, it's another one that I haven't done in such a long time, years and years, and I don't know why, because I really love it. Again, it's from Zero, and the whole album Zero is that first stepping out, the sense of, you know, the cosmic egg, the beginning of potential. So this song is called Child the First, and I wrote this when my son Reuben was a newborn, pretty much as soon as he was born, you know, within a week or something of him being born, I wrote this song for him. And I referenced, in terms of the Zero album, all based on the tarot cards, I referenced the Magician card for him. And of course it's going to be a bit hard for you to see that, but you can Google the white Rider-Waite Magician card. But essentially, here's the magician standing there in his red robe, this feisty energy, with each of the symbols for the 4 elements on his or her altar, and everything there that can possibly be needed to activate and manifest the what it is that you wish to create. And so that was the blessing that I was giving to Reuben as a child. He was there full of this potential, and yeah, so I just wanted to give that blessing that he be like the magician, and everything that he needs will always be there for him, and it's up to him to then utilize that, which he has, of course. He's awesome. Child the First, okay. Oops. And now you're here, and now you're strong, with mind of sword and power of wand, each sense a coin to spend along the path that you've been set upon. And now you're here, with eyes as true as sun is gold or ocean blue, and all is bright and all is new. Magician child in front of you, you drip with my blood, it's an offering. You slip through my water, the softening of all that's before you, and all is before you. Child the First, and you are ability and you are dexterity, your pure possibility, and magic and alchemy, and you will be changed, but changing, change destiny, and you can do anything, anything, everything, child, the first child, the first. I wouldn't have minded a song like that from my mum when I was a baby. Blessings of trust, you know, that you'll be exactly who you're meant to be. So along that same theme, this is the follow-up song for that one, which I wrote when Ruben was a teenager. Now I'm singing it for all of us, and especially with that sense of that Aries, that fiery, directed fire. I might have sung this for Leo as well. It's applicable for that as well. But it's definitely that sense of stepping forward, and, you know, Aries really is very brave too. Stepping forward and claiming your right to be exactly who you are, to step into your own power and shine and radiate exactly who you are. So this Aries full moon is a really great time for clearly letting the universe know what it is that you are wanting to manifest in your life. Behind me, I have a vision board. There's a close-up pic in the Aries full moon magic booklet, which you can download from the website. And this is one I actually made, I think it was at the start of the year, and it was a good while ago. But I didn't want to make a new one. I contemplated it. I thought I'd come back and make I usually make a vision board every Aries full moon. But this one is so potent. It has my Persephone album imagery on this side, and it has a kind of cosmic imagery in the middle, and then home and nature in Santa Fe over here. And it's still in process of just the album will go off to production in the next couple of days, my Persephone album. And I think until I have that, at least a CD in my hand, this vision board is still very much doing its job. So I'm just charging it up with this full moon and really making sure that I'm radiating out what I want to share with the world, and that I'm stepping into my power. And that's what this is about. So if you haven't done it yet, the full moon energy really holds its power for a good few days. So if you have some time over the next day or two, make a vision board, collect imagery or draw it or whatever of what it is that you're wanting to manifest in your life, and see yourself in that position, and claim that power. Anyway, I'm going to sing this song called Radiate. And now you're here, and now you're strong. Seems so long ago that I offered that song, and my heart was aflame, and I'd known you so long. Through eons and eons and eons and eons, and oh, it was beautiful. And now you're here, and your heart is true, and the blessings I gave, how they're flowing through you. And your hands are alive with a grace that was gifted to you by the sun and the moon. And you're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Radiate your inner soul. look in your eyes, and all I can do is love you, love you, love you. I bow to the sun, and I bow to the earth, and I hail the moon for the gift of your birth. And you'll always be loved, and you'll always be free. And remember, the fire that flows through your fingers is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Radiate your inner soul. It's all up to you. You're not fated to follow. It's true. The universe is open to you, and all I can do is love you, love you, love you. Radiate your inner soul. It's all up to you. You're not fated to follow. Be wild. You'll always be my magical child. I'm all I can do, and all I can do is love you. Thank you. So Aries is about leadership as well. And sometimes that's just making sure that you're the director of your own life, that you're the one leading, you're the one sailing your own ship, you know, that you're not just getting swept by the current, but that you actually have a clear vision. Whatever that may be. It needn't be grandiose. It can be to live life as a good person. It's a wonderful vision, you know. So that sense of leadership is very powerful. It's like the lantern, that very focused single flame, so different to the wild Sagittarian, gregarious, and very different to the warm and heart-filled hearth of Leo. Aries is like, kind of like the Knight of Wands in the Tarot, I think, too. And definitely about new beginnings and about birth. So I thought I might sing this song, a creation song. I might have sung this in the Cancer one ages ago, at the beginning of the year. It's called She Danced Alone Upon the Waves. It's from my Wolf Sky album. And it's based on an ancient Greek creation story. And in this story, the goddess, who is chaos, who is night, longs for the other, and she begins to dance with the north wind until he transforms into a serpent and becomes her lover, and she becomes pregnant and she transforms into a bird and she lays the cosmic egg, and the serpent then coils around it and incubates it. So this, again, it's that yin yang thing, this beautiful balance of the masculine and feminine, both as necessary and potent tools of the creation, you know, of whatever, of all things. And it's really important to remember when I'm saying masculine and feminine that I'm not meaning man and woman. These are energies that are within all genders, and it's really about, it's really a silly way of labeling them, in all honesty, but that's the English language. And it's really about the drive forward balanced by the receiving, so that, you know, giving and receiving. Anyway, here's his song. Oh, and he incubates the egg, and the egg opens, and that's the beginning of all existence. It's just a wonderful story. She danced alone upon the waves, alone upon the water, alone upon the water. She took the north wind by the tail, caressed him till she felt the serpent scale. He coiled around her limbs divine, her dance as wild as fire, her dance as wild as fire. She had created sea from sky, and knew her lover loved her movements. Once she divided the sky and the ocean. All of creation was then set in motion, becoming dove upon the sea. She laid the egg that held eternity. The serpent spiraled round its form, and cradled in his magic, cradled in his magic. The sacred vessel soon grew warm, and split to open all existence. Out of it tumbled the earth and her creatures, rivers and mountains and forests and beaches. Out of it sun, out of it moon. She danced alone upon the waves, and born of chaos was existence, and born of chaos was existence. Thanks, Sam. I think that creating something does have a sense of chaos to it. There's a point where, like I'm referencing this epic Persephone album that I've just finished, which is incredible because I've been working on it for 12 years, so it's epic. And you know, I listened to it again last night as I lay in bed, and it seems so so clear, the message now, and elegant in its way, that wow, the stages of chaos that went through. And you know, if you saw my notebooks, things that seem so obvious took a lot of time to get there, took a lot of trying this and trying that and adding this and cutting that, and then the end result is something that seems like it always should have been there. But and that's the same thing, that this born of chaos was existence. I think everything that we create in our lives, like birthing a child, it's really messy, and then you have this wonderful thing at, you know, at the end of it. Birthing anything, there's a sense of upheaval. Springtime, you know, this birth of rebirth after winter is very messy as well for Earth. That's when, you know, things are kind of locked in winter, especially in lands that are snowy and frozen. There's a sense of stillness, almost, you know, of rest in a way. And then spring comes along and things start melting and things get mushy and messy and yucky, and before this next stage of creation. And even that push, that inertia of the bulb pushing through the soil at springtime, that's messy too. You know, it's like this chaotic, driven, fierce, that's that Aries feisty energy. It was so lovely to be momentarily in springtime in Australia last week. It's surreal, actually. And then today we all went for a hike up the mountain, and it's all golden aspen leaves, and it's just lovely, that again, that dance of pushing forward and releasing. It's the yin and yang again, always in balance, always coexisting. It's a miracle. Guess that's why I'm a witch, because I love it so much. Okay, so this next song is about rebirth. You know, it touches on some of that darker aspect that sometimes you need to go through those in order to, through the descent. You know, I'm always talking about descent and rebirth, and that's definitely what the Persephone album is about. You need to willingly allow yourself to go into those darker depths, that chthonic underworld energy, which isn't clear cut. It isn't crystal clear like the bright Aries flame. It's undefined and swirly and chaotic and messy and confusing at times, but often we need to be willing to do that, like that lovely thing that happens with butterflies, where, you know, they're a caterpillar and then they go through the chrysalis stage and they actually liquefy inside of that chrysalis stage. They turn to mush before they re-emerge as butterfly. Well, this was when I was turning to mush, that's for sure. This song is called Black Snake, and it's about the descent and then the rebirth that comes through. I knew that something, that's from my last album, and I knew that I was ready for a new phase of my life. But I was very much caught in that underworld. I was very depressed and went away to write this album, and these songs came through about rebirth, about getting that Aries fire and just manifesting that push to get things going. So Black Snake, here we go. Black snake leads me down, down into ground, down into ground. I'm following a trail of a winding scale, of slithers slow, deep down below. I'm following my instincts. Black snake slither slow beneath the world. I think I know. I shed it like a skin. I go within. I'm stripping back, back, slither black snake to where I can begin. I flow like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. I flow like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. Black snake leads me down, down into ground, down into ground, through memory and bone, through root and stone, leaves me alone, deep down below, the life that I've been living. Black snake leads me down, down into underground, into underground. I'm swallowing my tail of a winding scale. I circle round, round, I spiral down. I'm ready now to start again, start again, start again, start again, start again, start again. Start again, start again, start again, start again, start again, start again. I move like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. I move like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. Oh hey, oh, 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 Lord. Black snake leads me down, down into ground, down into ground. I'm following a trail of a winding scale. I circle round, round, I spiral down. I'm ready now to start again, start again, start again, start again, start again, start again. Start again, start again, start again, start again, start again, start again. I move like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. I move like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. I move like water, seeking serpent way to low ground. So I guess that song was more about the descent than the rebirth. It was saying, I'm ready now, you know, but it was still in that watery seeking the low ground. That's what water does. It takes us deep. You know, that symbol for water is the upside down, reverse downward pointing triangle. And the symbol for fire is the upward pointing triangle. So again, you've got that balance. You can see this flame here on the altar is anchored to its source, but it's always moving up. It's about this growing, this moving up, and water is about that sinking and going deeper. But that moving up energy needs to emerge out of that womb, essentially. You know, you think of that initial birth, and it starts in a womb. It starts watery. And last month we had our Pisces full moon, which was so dreamy and so lovely. And then Aries is born out of that dream sea, out of that womb of the ocean, of the Piscean ocean. It's like, okay, well, enough of that merging and morphing and boundarylessness. Now let's get feisty. Now here I am, and my boundaries are exactly here. I know exactly where I am, and this is what I'm going to do. It's all about action. And you think too that the new moon is born out of the womb of the dark moon, that beautiful darkness, and then emerges that first crescent. And I think in a way that every new moon carries, no matter what sign it's in, carries that kind of Aries-ish energy about potential and new beginning, coloured of course with the particular sign that the new moon's in, but always that sense of growth, of moving forward, of emerging out of the darkness into light. And both are equally necessary for that creative process. Talking of creative process, now I'm going to share a song from Persephone, and I'm going to talk about Persephone. So, this incredible myth, truly incredible myth that I have worked my interpretation of, just is so multifaceted, has so much to teach us. And I'll be, you know, my Persephone album is one looking at that myth through one particular lens, through the lens that I wanted to explore it with. But hopefully it's a gateway for all of you to find your entry point or continuing journey with this incredible, very ancient myth that has impacted Western art and culture, you know, enormously. It's incredible. So the basic gist of the myth, I know many of you who are watching are already familiar with it. Essentially, there's the mother goddess who is Demeter, the goddess of the grain. And she has her beautiful daughter, Kori, which just means daughter, who picks flowers in the meadow. The potential, this is just how it always has been. Mother, daughter, Demeter loves it like that. But unbeknownst to them, Hades has fallen in love with Kori and has asked Zeus, her father, for the permission to take her into the underworld as his wife and as to become queen of the underworld. They don't consult the goddesses at all. This myth comes out of a patriarchal culture. But my exploration of it is more about the psychological process of descent and rebirth. Anyway, Kori goes down into the underworld. After the initial trauma of the abduction, she finds her strength, she finds her power, and she transforms into Persephone, queen of the underworld. And at the same time, her mother on the surface doesn't know what's happened to her, and she goes into this terrible grief, and all the earth dries up and there's famine. And eventually, long story short, a negotiation is made that
Persephone can return to surface as long as she hasn't eaten anything in the underworld, but she's eaten 6 pomegranate seeds that Hades offered her, hence pomegranates. These gorgeous pomegranate seeds, ruby coloured, amazing. So Zeus decrees that Persephone will spend 6 months in the underworld, or 1 month in the underworld for each seed that she's eaten. So, so this is kind of hard for both of the goddesses, because Demeter loses her daughter for half the year, but also has to go, okay, well, at least I get her for half the year. And Persephone is down there in her queendom with her lover, where she's all powerful and has a very important role to play, and that's a really great thing. She's having a good time there, and she has to come back up to surface and be simply the maiden again, the nameless maiden. So it's hard for both of them. I think those transitional times are hard, and so I want to share with you the very final song of this album. It's a 24-track double album, and the whole nature of of the album is that it guides us through the myth, and Hecate, the goddess, kind of does sort of she does I guess a narration, partly in Greek, and the song that comes a couple of songs before this is simply called 6 for the darkness, 6 for the light, and over this kind of wild percussion she chants Exiato scutadi, exiato fos, exiato scutadi, exiato fos, 6 for the darkness, 6 for the light. And this is how it needs to be. There needs to be balance across the planet. Again, we come back to the black, white, yin, yang, etc. And so she chants this, and then she chants the wheel will turn, o trojos thagirisi, the wheel will turn forever, and keep turning, because change has to happen. And so this is the song where after being in the underworld, Persephone is now called back to surface, and she must honour the deal, same as her mother must. So before I sing this though, I want to send out an absolutely massive thank you to the over 200 people who have contributed to my possible fundraising campaign for this album, because you can imagine this an album of this scope has been extremely expensive to create. And so I set up a fundraiser for pre-orders, and also created a whole heap of special prizes or rewards, things ranging from t-shirts and tote bags, and also things like exquisite limited edition jewellery made by William Llewellyn Griffiths of metal couture of tiny little pomegranates, and all these amazing things that are still up for grabs, you know, and they're only going to be available during the fundraiser. And so far we're up to over $14,000 US, which is covering about half the cost of the album so far. So that's massively helpful to Tim and I, who have been funding it. And I'm just so freaking eternally grateful to everyone who has, no matter what you have contributed, it's a really, really, really big help. So if you haven't contributed and you want to, the bonus is that there's the opportunity to order some of these things that will not be available afterwards. Of course, the CD is going to be available, and on vinyl as well. You can purchase vinyl and pre-order that now. But things like the jewellery and the handmade altar cloths and the one-card tarot readings and Skype tarot readings, they're not going to be available afterwards. Now's your chance. There's two more weeks of the fundraiser. So you could go onto my website, and there'll be links on the Persephone page. And also, if you just want to do a quick search in your browser, just type in Pozible, that's Pozible with a Z or a Z if you're that way inclined, Pozible, and then my name, Wendy Rule, Pozible Wendy Rule, and the fundraiser will come up, and you'll see it there. And you know, it's been 5 years ago that I asked for your help and support for the Black Snake album, which of course manifested. I'm always good for, you know, my word. And the great thing also about the if you do contribute to the fundraiser and purchase at least the MP3, but also, you know, the CD or vinyl, you'll get a MP3 version of the album a good few weeks before, well actually straight after the fundraiser ends on October 8th. So you'll get like this kind of pre-release opportunity, la la la, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, here's this song from Persephone pushing through and reluctantly resurfacing, like that bowl pushing through the surface. It can be painful, it can be hard rebirthing ourselves. So she has to be brave. She has to get that Aries fire and go, okay, this is what I got to do. I've got to resurface again. So here we go. And so this winter, that others see as sorrow, will soon be over, and I will mourn the shadow and lose the darkness that held me soft within his arms, and leave my lover under the surface. I am as radiant as light. There is a beauty that's hidden deep within the night, and I have found it. But I am called away and don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it. Once I was maiden, and I will maiden be again. And though the springtime will see me dancing with the flowers, and when I'm dancing, no other care will weigh my heart. I am resisting. Oh, blessed darkness, oh, blessed sanctuary of bone, where I have hidden, where I have come to be alone. Oh, blessed darkness, I am at one with you, and now I must leave you. Now I must leave you. 6 for the darkness and 6 for the light. 6 for the darkness and 6 for the light. 6 for the darkness and 6 for the light. Thank you. I can't wait for you all to hear this album. I'm so excited. Maybe maybe tomorrow I'll put one of the songs up on the Possible campaign to lure you that way. As a yeah, I think that's what I might do. I'll choose one song for you to have a listen to. Okay, I'm going to do one more song, then we'll open up our magical circle. This song is called Zero, and of course I already spoke about the beginning and the potential and all that kind of stuff. But this song is a really handy song for doing a bit of focused spell work. So I'm just going to take this jacket off for a minute because I'm getting hot. Because of the flame, see. I'm wearing my wonderful new leggings by Edgley of Melbourne. You can check Alice Edgley's amazing clothes out. It's my first wear. That was my treat to myself for all that hard work I did. I'm very, very pleased with these. Okay, so each of the verses of this song are a blessing for each of the elements, and then toward the end I'll do a spoken word spell. And I think that I'm going to do this spell for will and passion, so that we can, you know, I could do, I feel pretty worn out, if I'm to be perfectly honest, with all this travel, and it's like this, you know, when you come to a massive thing that's coming, you know, to completion, and I could do with that extra little bit of push of Aries, feisty, fiery push to help me through this next stage, to get the artwork sent off, to get the t-shirts designed, to get all those kind of things. I could do with that bit of energy. And so think about what it is in your life that could really benefit from some of that feisty Aries energy. It could be that you're feeling sluggish, could be that you're that you don't know what it is that you want to create. Well, call on that Aries full moon to clarify that for you. Call on the power of clear will. I write about will in the Aries booklet, which you can go online and grab. Or maybe it's like, okay, I've got a very clear idea, and this can just, using the power of creative visualization, picture what it is that you want. And as I'm singing this song, imagine yourself in the situation of having manifested whatever it is that you want. I'll be picturing myself with the Persephone CD here and a vinyl, and maybe I'll be singing to the full room at the Melbourne CD launch on February 23rd. Maybe I'll picture the album being in lots of different shops or lots of different people's homes. You know, all those little imaginings, daydreamings, creative visualizations help us. This is what this is all about, to remind us, you know. Maybe I'll picture myself in my home too. And a home that we own, you know, that would be really nice. I'm going to send out for that. So whatever it is that you want, there's no harm in asking for what you want from the universe, as long as if you're coming from a place of really genuine true will, then you're coming from a place of your soul, and it's for the good of all and according to the free will of all. If we are really genuinely working to what is truly good for us on a soul level, it benefits the world. It really does. You know, it's not about selfishness or anything like that. It's about manifesting what we need in our lives to radiate our own true and amazing selves. That's, you know, that's what that Aries energy can help us to do, just to get that drive and that get up and go and that fire in our belly. So what do you want to manifest? What do you want in your life? Picture it, be present with it, connect in with the moon, the words of this song, and then we'll do a spell. And if that doesn't feel comfortable to you, just it's for the good of all and according to the free will of all. The spell's not for you then, but I bet it is. Right, I'm going to see if there's a bit more. Yes, there's a bit of charcoal still burning. Add a bit of frankincense. Oh, I should say, I'll call this in as a northern hemisphere because that's where I am now. So when I call in fire, I will be welcoming fire from the south, and I'll welcome earth from the north. But if you're in the southern hemisphere, just reverse those words and call in fire and earth from wherever feels right to you. Rise softly, eastern sky, gateway to an inner world. Open the day and close the night, and life will flow through you. Now I feel before me swirling element of air, a purple sky to kiss the night goodbye. There the winds of birth of change flow gently through. Yeah, all space is here, all time is now, all southern sky, summer blue and glorious, a zenith sun ignites your eye, and fire flows through you. Now I feel before me, warming mind and soul and skin, the cosmic fire fuels the fire deep within, wandering hand beneath the summer flames. I'll sing, yeah, yeah, all space is here, all time is now. All space is here, all time is now. All space is here, all time is now. Zero. So melt slowly, western sky, backdrop to the shadow world. Oh, life is danced before your eyes, and birds, they cut through you. Now I see before me carved horizon like a cup, to catch a twilight that the sky is giving up, and love and pain and hope and fear and joy. And yeah, yeah, all space is here, all time is now. All space is here, all time is now. All space is here, all time is now. Oh, zero. Lord, shine cloudy northern sky. Winter night, so beautiful. A waning moon, embroidered stars to navigate the winter. Now I hear before me silence old and cold and clear, hermit song, a sigh of earth and passing years, and to sound you offers so much more than fair. Yeah, yeah, all space is here, all time is now. All space is here, all time is now. All space is here, all time is now. So cosmic universe, spiraling here with us, everything you know, sky above and earth below, open each door, and the elements four, they'll join hands and they'll dance, they'll join hands, they'll dance, they'll join hands, and they'll dance in a zero, 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 zero. Hey, zero, zero, zero. There is one power in the universe, and that is the power of perfect will, of perfect direction, of perfect passion. And I, Wendy, and everyone who's tuning in today, is a perfect manifestation of that will, of that direction, of that passion. We push forward, we break new ground, we light our path, explore new territories, we create. Our fiery, focused will leads us in the direction of our dreams. visionary energy of this blessed Aries full moon, we charge up our visions with the energy of fire, of the focused flame, of the wand, of the magician. Perfect will, perfect direction, perfect passion are ours here and now, for the good of all and according to the free will of all. And so mote it be. Thank you. I was picturing all those things. And it's, you know, what's really interesting too, when you enter into that process of creative visualization, which I give a guide to in the Aries Full Moon booklet, images come that you don't necessarily expect. And, you know, they can be really powerful and they can be guides as well, you know, in a way. So may all your dreams come true. And may they be for the good of all and according to the free will of all. And may they bring joy and life and love to the planet and to the universe. So I'm going to open up our magical circle. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know I left it kind of late to let you know about this, but I'm presuming by this point in the year, when I've been doing full moon magic concerts every single full moon, that you will have kind of switched on by now. Of course, we're always super, super grateful for your donations. You can imagine how much work all this takes to make sure that we're somewhere with internet every full moon and, you know, prioritizing our time, because it's important to me. It's really important to me to do these rituals and to share them with you and to create community. I love it. I love it. And we'd appreciate any donations if you're feeling that gorgeous, generous flow. There's donation buttons. And I'm also aware that many of you have already been extremely generous, and I'm aware of that. So, you know, I get it. Let's open up our magical circle. Thank you, Tim, once again for doing all the tech. I think we'll get old Croaky out too. It's old Croaky. He was just looking bedraggled. He's getting old. He's very old Croaky now. So anyway, funny old Croaky. Thank you, energies of earth, of groundedness and centeredness, of rest, of sleep, of slowing down, of health and healing, of our amazing bodies and all that we can do, of sumptuous food and banquet and harvest, of prosperity and plenty, of shelter and home, of safety. Earth, thank you for being in our circle. Hail and farewell. Thank you, energies of water, of deepest feeling and flow, of being flexible, being intuitive, being empathic, being kind. Water of ocean and river and rain and hot spring, which we are going to in the morning. Water, you're very awesome. Thank you, hail and farewell. And thank you, energies of fire, with your just amazingness, your incredible shining light, your guiding lantern, helping us, bringing energy to our projects, our life force. Fire, thank you, hail and farewell. And thank you, air, for incense and words and songs ancient stories. Thank you for freedom to spread our wings wide and be exactly who we are. Air, hail and farewell. And thank you, Spirit, the everything, the above, the below, the within, the without. Spirit who is Goddess, Spirit who is God, and Spirit who is everything in between and beyond. Spirit of 1,000 names and Spirit nameless. Spirit, thank you for being here with us tonight. By earth and air and fire and water, this circle is open but remains unbroken. Merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. Blessed be and happy full moon. Thank you.